All right, if you're a new adjuster, welcome. You're about to meet what's probably going to be the most important tool in your entire career, Xactimate. Look, we're going to get you up to speed, and we're going to do it fast. So let's just dive right in.
Okay, so right off the bat, let's get one thing straight. You have to stop thinking of Xactimate as just, another piece of software you have to learn. It's so much more than that. It is literally the language of the entire claims industry. I mean, contractors, carriers, adjusters, everyone speaks Xactimate. So your job isn't just to learn the program, it's to become fluent. And hey, this is your first lesson.
All right, so if we're going to speak the language, we've got to start with the alphabet, right? Let's get into the foundational mechanics. These are the core skills you are going to use every single day. Getting these down will make you efficient and effective from day one.
Listen, forget clicking around like crazy. Your keyboard is about to become your best friend. Seriously, it's super simple. R for room, D for door, W for window. When you're sketching a roof, it's F. And yeah, just think F for don't fall off. And the spacebar? Oh, that's the magic pan tool. Some people call it the Michael Jackson glove because you just hold it down and you can glide around your sketch so smoothly. Trust me on this. Mastering just these 5 shortcuts will save you hours of your life.
Okay, you want to know the real secret to being fast? I mean, really fast? It's all about macros. So what's a macro? Think of it like a recipe. Let's say you're doing a full ceiling replacement. Instead of adding every single ingredient, drywall, tape, mud, paint, labor, one by one every single time, you just grab your ceiling replacement recipe and boom, it's all there in one click. This is how you build speed, maintain consistency, and just cruise through your jobs. Now lean in for this one, because this is a critical tip that will save you a massive headache out in the field. When you're on your desktop, Xactimate sorts your macros by the description you give them, right? Makes sense. But, and this is a big but, on the mobile app, it sorts them by the code. So what does that mean for you? It means if you don't set them up with both a good description and a good code, that beautifully organized list you made in the office turns into an absolute useless mess on your phone. You gotta get this right from the very beginning.
Okay, look, knowing the buttons and shortcuts, that's one thing. That's the science. But the real skill, the art of this job, is knowing what to look for. So we're going to shift gears now from the how-to of writing estimates to the what to look for when you're reviewing one. It's time to develop that adjuster's eye. So when a contractor's estimate hits your desk, you basically become a detective. You're looking for red flags. And this list right here, this is your new best friend. You're going to ask yourself, are they playing by the carrier's rules? Are they using the right line items, not just something close? Is there a photo to back up every single line item? And maybe most importantly, can they actually defend why they're asking for what they're asking for? This needs to be your mental checklist for every single file you touch. No exceptions.
And all of that brings us to a phrase you absolutely need to burn into your brain. Thickest file wins. Now hold on, this isn't about just making paperwork for the sake of it. Not at all. It's about building a case that is so well documented, so thorough that it becomes undeniable. Every photo, every note, every little piece of evidence, it all makes your estimate stronger and, most importantly, defensible.
Here's a great way to think about your role. A contractor? They're a storyteller. They come to you with a story, a narrative of what happened and what it's going to take to make it right. Your job? You're the editor. You're the fact checker. You have to go through that story line by line and make sure every single detail is accurate, justified, and actually part of the right story.
So, okay, you've got the basic mechanics down and you're developing that critical mindset. Awesome. But here's the thing. The ground is literally shifting under our feet. The tools we're using are evolving so fast, it's almost hard to keep up. And what's coming next? It's probably going to change everything. I mean, just look at this timeline. It shows you exactly how fast things are moving. It wasn't that long ago, back in 2018, that we were just getting video capture. Then, boom, 2 years later, we get augmented reality sketching. Then LiDAR a few months after that. And now we're talking about automated rebuilds and AI writing our photo descriptions. The pace isn't just fast, it's accelerating. And that's really the big headline, isn't it? Artificial intelligence. AI, it's not some sci-fi concept anymore. It's here. It's being integrated directly into the workflow, into the software you're going to use every day. This isn't just a new feature. It is a fundamental shift in how this job is done. But you know how it is with any new technology, right? There's always the shiny marketing promise, and then there's the actual reality of using it out on the street. So let's do that. Let's separate the hype from what's really happening and listen to what adjusters who are actually in the field are saying about these new AI tools.
Yeah, and this slide pretty much says it all. On the one hand, you have the promise from the brochures, right? Automated photo descriptions, suggested line items, faster scoping, this perfect little assistant. But on the other hand, well, you have reality. And what are users saying? Huge math errors. They're saying 65% of it is hallucinations. One person just called the output a crappy printout. So it's pretty clear that while there's potential there, it is a long, long way from being a perfect tool.
And this quote right here is a perfect example of how smart adjusters are already adapting. This guy isn't letting AI write his estimate, no way. He's using it as a brainstorming tool. He'll ask it for ideas, for things he might have missed, knowing full well that probably more than half of what it gives him is going to be total garbage. But that little bit that isn't, that helps. So see, he's using it for inspiration, not for delegation. Big difference.
And of course, when you start talking about automation and AI this much, there's a very real, very human anxiety that comes with it. I mean, adjusters are looking at this stuff and they're wondering, what does this mean for my future, for my job? And this quote, it just captures that feeling perfectly. You can hear the love for the work, but you can also hear that very real fear of being replaced by a piece of code.
But there's also a much darker side to this. There's a serious warning bell being rung here. Think about it. If AI is powerful enough to help us write estimates, it's also powerful enough to help people commit incredibly sophisticated fraud. We're talking about creating photorealistic images of damage that never even happened. This technology is a classic double-edged sword, and honestly, the industry is just now starting to figure out what to do about it.
So after all that, what's the big takeaway for you, the new adjuster just getting started? It's pretty simple, actually. AI is a tool. It's a powerful tool, sure. It's a flawed tool? Definitely. And it's evolving like crazy. But it's still just a tool. It's here to assist you, not replace you. Your judgment, your experience, your critical thinking, that's what really matters. Never forget that. You are still the most important part of this whole process.
Look, Xactimate is going to keep changing. That's a guarantee. There will be new features, new shortcuts, new technologies we can't even imagine yet. The tools will always change. But the principles, the things that make a good adjuster, thorough documentation, solid storytelling, and sound judgment, those things are timeless. They never change. So the real question isn't what will the tech do next? The real question is for you. How are you going to use these new tools to master those timeless principles?